It is because we're paid to find people that live right there locally, that don't need housing and per diem. So it's like we need to know the people that are right there in the location. And someone coming from out of state, they could probably find out, but it would take them a long time to find those people. And some of the people I cast don't even have agents. It's like I just did a Hallmark project. Tons of kids, which I love working with kids. And I needed an African American girl. Well, for some reason in New Mexico, there are very few African American people. I don't know why. So I went to see a little play that my godson was in, and I've been to every single play, he's 9, that he's been in, thinking, well, because I'll go for Tenzin, but also thinking maybe that there would be a little African American girl, and there wasn't. And then I looked the audience over, and there she was. There was my little African American girl. And so, and I'm pretty bold about this, during intermission I went up and I talked to her mom, and I talked to her, and they had just moved to Santa Fe, and her mother had this beautiful African accent, and the little girl didn't, and she was smart as a whip. So I called her into audition. I think she's 7, and she got the role. And she came into audition and she did this cutesy little thing, and I said, no, stop, don't do that. She said, oh, my mother told me to do that, and I told her it wasn't right. And so then I had to go out and talk to the mother and say, look, she's got great instincts. Don't give her little motions to do. Let her just be the kid, because she has instincts to do it. And she came back and she did it again, and she was fabulous, and she got 3 weeks work on a Hallmark project. So, and someone who wasn't living in the location would never have found this cute little girl, this cute little 7-year-old girl, because they wouldn't have been at my godson's play that weekend, So I think location means let's find the folks in the location. That's pretty exciting. But what's also exciting is when you've worked with an actor and all of a sudden they're getting it. All of a sudden they understand. All of a sudden they're real and organic, and they're clicking. That for me is really exciting, because there are actors that I audition for years, and then I can bring them into bigger roles and give them a better opportunity. So I really love that too, when all of a sudden the light bulbs go off and they get it and they stop acting and they become real. They're more being rather than doing, so. But discovering people is, pretty exciting too. And sometimes it's really scary. I mean, I had to trust that 7-year-old girl was going to do a good job. And it was because she was so smart, and that she knew that she should be real rather than do the cutesy thing that her mother told her to. But like, for instance, on Crazy Heart, the little Jack Nation that we cast was 4 years old. And it was a little bit nerve-wracking to trust that he was going to be able to hold up to Jeff Bridges and Maggie Gyllenhaal and be okay and not just have a little temper tantrum or whatever. And I thought he was fabulous, didn't you? In Crazy Heart, the little boy, he's 6 now, but that was the producer saw him in a restaurant on the plaza in Santa Fe and asked me if it would be worth bringing him in. I said, absolutely, and then had to work with him just a little bit. Basically, don't look in the camera and, just be yourself kind of thing. And so, yeah, it's exciting to discover people. Mostly through talent agents, I send out a breakdown and they're submitted. And they have a good headshot and a good resume, or they've been taking some classes and a coach calls me up and says, Joe, I know you have got to see this Seth Colton guy. He is fabulous, and I'll say, okay. And but that's the way it is. It's either word of mouth, or you see someone in a play, that's not on your radar yet, or you're looking for a particular thing, a hunky 20-something-year-old Native American male. Then you may, for True Grit, we went to some of the pueblos and did an open call to look for Native American people. That's how you, but mostly you're professional, you have a talent agent, you're in the union, and that's where we start first. Yes, I do. I mean, if if the actor can get to me, it's always better, because I take the term casting director seriously, so that I'm going to give you some information, or I'm going to tone it down, or I'm going to tweak it, or I'm actually probably going to direct you and give you a second take. And sometimes when an actor just sends me a video, 8 out of 10 times it's way over the top. A lot of times I wonder, why don't they use a tripod? Because, you know, it's shaky video, it's poor quality. You know, I love what Breakdown Services has, where you can go in and pay a very small fee and get a professional tape and email it to me. That's fantastic. But a lot of times when actors just put themselves on tape, they have a reader who's upstaging them, and is so distracting that you can't really focus on the actor, and the quality is so poor. It's poorly lit, the sound, you know. So I really prefer for you to come to me. But there are agents who have ways of making good tapes, and yeah, so I do see a lot of tapes. Absolutely. You know, when you call and offer a job to a talent, the agents get really excited, and usually they get back to you that day with a yes. And it's usually not about, well, how big is the trailer and where is the credit, and it's just the agents get really excited for their talent. So yeah, we work as a family, you know, and we all get excited when someone gets cast. It feels fantastic. You know, I still don't understand why we don't get an Academy Award. I mean, how can you have a film without good casting? You know, and it's so I'm so glad they're the Artios Awards, and that we at least recognize each other, because it's a big part of the process. You know, if you see a film that's cast well, it's way different than you see a film that's not cast well. You notice that right away. So I love it, and it helps you get more work too. You know, and I like to work. I'm a bit of a workaholic. I like to work. As I get older, and the more of it I do, the more fun it becomes. So I don't understand. How lucky are we to do something that is a blast?